Buonasera, era una domanda per Michele. Volevo chiedergli molto sinteticamente un voto e un aggettivo per questo Mondiale dell'Italia. Non tante parole.
Ma non lo so, onestamente adesso in questo momento faccio fatica a dare un voto e un aggettivo. Sicuramente io potrei dire 5,5, non lo so, sicuramente avevamo non lo so, avevamo degli obiettivi ambiziosi. Prima di tutto andava fatto il lavoro che abbiamo fatto e ovviamente ci siamo riusciti, quindi ci siamo messi nella posizione in cui volevamo metterci. Dopodiché purtroppo non siamo riusciti, soprattutto nella prima partita, a mettere le cose sui binari giusti. Un aggettivo non saprei proprio dirle, guardi, mi dispiace.
Good evening, Jovan Bajic, Rugby in Serbia. Just a quick question for both of you. What have happened to Italy, what we have seen like 8 months ago during the Six Nations, and from what we're seeing now in the last 2 games?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
What is the difference? What have happened to Italy that we have seen? Yeah.
You've got to have power, don't you? I mean, look at New Zealand, you look at France, you look at South Africa. You have power. Our guys, they give it everything they've got. But look at teams at the top at international level play a power game, and we were just lacking a little bit in that. You got to play to what your strengths, and we tried to play to our strengths. But today we gave away too many. I think we gave away 17 penalties. Some of those I'd question around the breakdown. I thought you had to let people go before you went for the ball, but that wasn't the difference in the game. So, you've got to play to your strengths, but the teams right at the top of the tree have a very power-based game, and it's big men. I mean, you look at the front row for France. I thought our scrum was pretty damn good today. If you looked at a man-for-man position situation. So yeah, if you're going to be really successful, you have to have the power.
Thanks, Kieran. It's first there and second in the front row. Yeah.
Kieran, you said after the New Zealand match that one match wouldn't define you, and it was one to throw in the bin. Do you feel you got a reaction, or are you as disappointed with this one? Oh,
very disappointed. I mean, we got a reaction. I thought we worked really well. I thought we were in a really good place yesterday morning. And I think we were in the game, but look, we started poorly. We gave away 3 penalties early and a couple of turnovers, and so we started poorly. But we got a reaction. I mean, you saw how they fought towards the end. I mean, it's a cliche, you always say it, but they stuck at it today. And if we could have gone in at half time at 24-7, the game would have been a lot closer. We might not have come back and won, of course, but at 24-7, instead we went in, I think it was 31-0 or whatever. So, those are the little things that make a massive difference. And in today's rugby, you can get beaten by 10 or 20 points and you're pretty close, I think the first person asked, how would you assess Italy's World Cup? Well, we are where everyone expected us to be. We finished third in the table. And look, we could have played a different sort of game and probably kept the score closer, but for me, it's not a game that would have won or gave us an opportunity to win. And the scores blew out a little bit more than what we would have hoped. But today I thought we had some fight there. So I have a lot of respect, and I'm proud of these boys for what they do.
Thank you. Next question, first row, and no filming, please. Next to. Thank you.
Michele, il percorso di questo mondiale era noto da tempo, da 2 anni, di più. capisco che fare un'analisi adesso a caldo, ma si può provare a dire cosa è andato storto, nel senso che si sapeva cosa ci aspettava, si sapeva chi erano gli avversari, sono stati fatti certi discorsi su certe aspettative, certe possibilità, e poi le cose sono crollate verticalmente. Si può provare a dire perché?
Il perché secondo me è molto semplice. Quando nel rugby non riesci a fare le cose base, purtroppo questo è quello che succede. Lo so che volete sempre sentire qualcosa di diverso, qualche click magico che cambia una partita dall'altra. Purtroppo non ci sta, cioè non esiste in questo sport. Facciamo uno sport dove se vinci il contatto, se vinci la battaglia fisica, riesci a stare dentro la partita. Se non lo fai, purtroppo dentro la partita non ci stai. Con la Nuova Zelanda sicuramente siamo entrati in campo con una mentalità, anche avendo preparato la partita in maniera magari la preparazione è stata ottima, non sto dicendo questo qua, però mentalmente sicuramente volevamo pensare a una vittoria, stavamo pensando più a quello che non alla prestazione, e questo ha fatto sì che magari dopo la terza meta ci siamo un po' sfaldati e abbiamo sicuramente perso però la battaglia fisica. Ed è la base di questo sport, è la base, cioè senza di questa puoi fare tutto quello che vuoi, puoi giocare alla mano quanto vuoi, purtroppo non vai da nessuna parte. E oggi la Francia ha dato una grandissima dimostrazione. Hanno segnato, penso, quante mete hanno segnato in tutto? 8 mete. 8 mete, tutte quante sopra la 10ª fase, praticamente su per giù. E vuol dire che comunque con gli avanti ci hanno continuato a martellare là, e poi dopo hanno segnato a largo. Voglio dire, se uno per fermare questi attacchi ci impiega un uomo in più, 2 uomini in più, purtroppo è così. Ed è semplice, cioè non so ogni volta che cosa vi aspettiate, ma è proprio semplice. Tu vieni assorbito dagli avanti loro e purtroppo gli spazi fuori si aprono, la coperta è corta. È così, cioè lo sport è semplice. Purtroppo non siamo riusciti ad essere pronti là, e questo purtroppo ha fatto sì che non siamo stati in gara per le ultime 2 partite. È duro, non so, che è duro da accettare, e lo è per noi ovviamente ancora di più, a maggior ragione.
Thank you. First here, second in the back row, and third in the corner.
First of all, on a personal note, besides these last 2 results, I just wanted to thank Kieran, the staff, and the players, because it's been the most fun 2 years I had since I was following Italian rugby as a kid. And my question is, Kieran, do you feel a sense of incompleteness, a sense of an unfinished job while leaving your post?
Oh, yeah, I've said it before. I'd love to take this team forward. You know, I think the next World Cup is their cycle. You're going to get to the next World Cup and there's going to be a lot of players who've had 50, 60, 70 test matches. But that wasn't my decision. What needs to happen, though, is these players need to be started to be treated with a little bit of respect off the field. Some of the things that go on with these boys, if there's another Division 1 team, a Tier 1 team, you know, they wouldn't be playing. You know, they need to get some of their stuff sorted. And so really to answer your question quite honestly, you know, I don't know whether I want to be involved in it unless that gets sorted. But, you know, I respect these guys, these players and the staff. You know, they have gone, you know, way beyond. And, yeah, people will judge us on our last 2 games, but, hey, I think someone said, well, when we first come in, we were 14th in the world, we're 11th now. But, you know, that doesn't make you feel any better. I mean, look, it's disappointing. But to answer your question, yeah, I would love to take these boys further, but I'll be eating some sushi and watch from afar.
From the back row.
Bonsoir. Est-ce qu'on pourrait avoir des nouvelles d'Ange Capozzo, savoir pourquoi il est sorti exactement en première mi-temps? Est-ce que c'était un protocole commotion et pourquoi il n'est pas revenu?
It was a HIA protocol. France obviously targeted him. Just joking on that. So, but yeah, HIA protocol, and he never passed his HIA. He got a knock in the eye, so he never passed his HIA, so that is why he did not come back on the field.
Hi, Kieran. Do you think the timing of the announcement of your departure affected this World Cup campaign?
I don't know. You'd have to ask. It didn't affect my performance, I don't think. Well, the way it made for an interesting dynamic. But yeah, look, that's. I mean, New Zealand's been in the same boat, haven't they? And they're going to the quarterfinals. So, you know, Ian Foster's in the same boat. So. No, look, decisions are made when they're made, and you just got to roll with it. And I thought as a staff and as a team, you know, we never really entered into it.
Thank you. How can the playing field be level between teams such as yourself in the Six Nations and also Tier 2 other teams at this tournament?
Sorry, what was that first part of that?
How can the playing field be levelled in rugby in general between the teams that are below the as you say, the more powerful nations?
Oh, it's yeah. They just need to have more games against the top nations. You know, for me, it's never going to happen because the powers that be. You know, it's a money thing. You know, you know, you could play England versus Ireland at Twickenham, and then you know you play a Tier 2 country there, England versus you know one of the teams that are here, like I don't know, Chile or Portugal or someone like that. You're not going to get the same sort of crowd, and therefore it's the money, the revenue. But you've seen in this World Cup, you know, the Tier 2 nations they can stay with the teams for 30 minutes of the first half, and then probably 20 of the second, but then it blows out, and that's just because of the level that other teams are playing at all the time. So yeah, they just need more games, but you know how World Rugby is able to do that, I don't know. It's up to them.
Yeah. And then here, that's the last two questions here and here.
Michele, tu hai fatto un'analisi molto cruda, molto dura. Hai detto non so cosa vi aspettavate. Possiamo dire che c'è stato un eccesso di aspettative, forse create da qualcuno che viene anche da lontano. Si era cominciato a parlare di 2 o 3 vittorie nel Sei Nazioni, della possibilità di vincere a Twickenham, forse di passare il turno, cioè magari è stato creato un eccesso di pressione su questa squadra e di aspettative al di là di quelle che erano le reali possibilità?
Ma onestamente noi all'interno ci siamo dati i nostri obiettivi, sapevamo quali erano, ci siamo sempre voluti focalizzare su quella che era la prestazione. Ovviamente tutti leggiamo quello che viene scritto all'esterno, però cerchiamo sempre di farlo rimanere all'esterno, quindi non credo che questa aspettativa, per così dire, abbia influenzato troppo il gruppo. All'esterno onestamente non so darti un parere al riguardo. Quello che so è che dobbiamo lavorare molto sui piccoli dettagli per poter essere competitivi quando le partite contano, perché la differenza secondo me tra per esempio questo Sei Nazioni e quello scorso, e anche ovviamente queste 2 partite al mondiale, è probabilmente proprio quando le partite iniziano a contare sul serio, che quindi l'avversario ti porta rispetto, la prepara nel miglior modo possibile. Questo anche nella mentalità di chi gioca contro di te fa una grandissima differenza, perché probabilmente questo rispetto l'abbiamo creato, ce lo siamo guadagnati e adesso lo stiamo affrontando, per così dire. È sicuramente un passo in più che abbiamo fatto rispetto a prima, perché probabilmente il motivo per cui in tante partite siamo stati all'interno della partita precedentemente era proprio perché magari la squadra avversaria ci aveva sottovalutato. Prendiamo la vittoria che abbiamo fatto in Galles, loro a 5 minuti dalla fine su di 6 punti, calci di punizione in mezzo ai pali, giocano per la meta, ma cioè a 3 minuti dalla fine che senso avrebbe giocare per la meta? Per dire, sì, ho capito, ma insomma valeva poco. E queste sono piccole cose che comunque fanno la differenza in una partita, e questo è sicuramente un motivo da una parte di orgoglio, dall'altra dobbiamo riuscire però a essere più pronti per queste partite quando contano veramente, ad aggredirle, a non lasciare niente di intentato. E questo in parte l'abbiamo fatto, in parte dobbiamo sicuramente crescere nel riuscire a gestire determinati momenti, nel riuscire ad essere molto più precisi in determinate situazioni, nell'essere più fisici, non lo so, nel mentalmente essere più pronti. Sono sicuramente fattori che vanno elaborati prima di tutto e poi sviluppati.
And this will be the last question, thanks.
Kieran, how would you, or what do you attribute the sort of scale of the two last defeats to? You know, many people expecting the pretty close games ahead of them. Is it brilliance from New Zealand and then France, or shortcomings on your side?
Oh, it's a bit of both, I think. I think if you look at today, we had some shortcomings. We lost our first 2 or 3 lineouts, I think. Then we got some good phases together, and we just didn't have the, foot over the ball a couple of times, and so there was technical failings. Yes, the brilliance. I think if you go back to the New Zealand game, it's probably the first time we've played a full strength New Zealand team. As Michele said, before that we used to play, maybe not the best side. But look, doesn't matter what side they put out, it's pretty bloody good. So that's not really a valid reason, I don't think. Look, you still got, I believe, you still got to have that power, you still got to have that size. Like I said, if you look at France, New Zealand, they're not as big probably as France, but they certainly took it to us physically. So you got to win that physical battle. If you can win that physical battle, well, then you're in a game. But if you're struggling with that physical battle, well, then you're struggling. And then it's depth too. You've got to have the depth. Look, you look at a country like France, for example. You've got a top 14, and so you just look at hookers. Yes, I know there's a couple of foreign hookers, but every team will have at least 3, and at least 2 of those will be French. So therefore, you've got 28 hookers running around top 14, and of those, probably 16 or 15 of them are pretty bloody good. We've got 2 franchises in Italy, and so you get 2 hookers or 3, 4 hookers. So your depth is not there in positions as well, and that's a real challenge going forward for Italy to get players game time, basically. Because there's only 2 franchises and they're trying to win. There's a lot of foreigners playing over there, so some of these boys will probably go back to URC and probably not get as much rugby as they need before they come into Six Nations, which is going to be a massive concern, particularly in the in the tight 5.
Okay, grazie Michele, thank you Kieran.
Cheers guys, thank you.
We'll be underway with the France press conference in a couple of minutes.
I'm back in